Monday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. I've got my trusty sidekick today. Hershey spent the night. Hey, Hersh. Can you say hi? Good morning. So, Hershey spent the night, which meant that I got to sleep in the guest room with Hershey while Erica and Drew slept in our room. So they are still sleeping, and Hershelton and I are up and at 'em already. All right, let's share this out on Twitter. Boom, that link is shared. We'll get rolling here, y'all. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Boom, and boom, and boom. Okay. All right, let's say some good mornings here. Please like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. If you're with us over there on Facebook, please like the page, share the post. If you're with us on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe if you've not done so yet. That is massively important for YouTube to tell people we're here, and we can keep growing this. So how about it, y'all? LSU baseball comes back and they win game 3, got pounded in game 2. Was not surprised at all. Talked about that. AJ Labus, after throwing 125 pitches, I just didn't expect him to be as good the next week. It's just the same thing happened last week when LSU played Ole Miss. And Doug Nikhazy had done the same thing the week prior. Doug Nikhazy had thrown 125 pitches, complete game, whatever. He wasn't as sharp against LSU. You couldn't have expected Labus to be as sharp this week as he was last week. So LSU gets pounded in game 2 of the series, first game of the doubleheader, and then they come back. Mikhail Hilliard starting through 5 great innings. Garrett Edwards with 3 innings behind that. Devin Fontenot tried to lose it in the 9th, man, but he came up with a big strikeout at the end with the runner on first. So LSU wins game 3, which, y'all, look, before the Ole Miss series, I said if they could win one against Ole Miss, Arkansas, they put themselves in position to have a chance. The fact that they went 3-3 in those 6 games, and but for an epic implosion against Ole Miss, would have been 4-2. That's pretty remarkable. And I get it, y'all. This team isn't very good. They're not winning a national championship. They're not. Yeah, I don't even think they're going to win a regional. They're going to travel for a regional, and they're not going to win it. But they deserve a lot of credit because, look, Auburn stinks, and they folded their tents. LSU started 1-8 in league play, and they have continued to grind and try to dig themselves out of that hole, and that's really stinking impressive. So, anyway, Hirsch. All right, well, Hirsch. Yeah, so Hirsch with her bow. Y'all see Hirsch with her bow? Hirsch has her little bow. All right, let's say some good mornings here. Also, a draft yesterday. So let me know what you thought about what the Saints did. And we'll talk about the LSU guys as well. So let's see. Kelly Presley, good morning. Hey, Uncle Benny, good morning. That's my Arkansas uncle with his woo pig. Hey, Uncle Benny, I got bad news for you, man. Y'all, by the way, y'all a good team. Very deep Arkansas team, no doubt. Pitching's going to be a problem, and y'all ain't going to win in Omaha because of it. It sucks because that's a really good, deep, talented team. But, bro, you can't give up. You're not going to play in 17-10 games in Arkansas, in Omaha. You can't slug your way through Omaha. So the fact that Mikhail Hilliard, who hadn't started an SEC game since 2018, went out and handcuffed Arkansas for 5 innings. Bro. Can't do it, bro. They don't have the pitching. So good team. Probably will be in Omaha, but that team ain't winning a championship. Book it. Jesse Brown, morning, Matt. Love the in-book pick. What are your thoughts on the Saints draft picks? Okay, I actually love the Saints draft. Mel Kiper, I'm looking at it right here, gave the Saints a C. Says they reached on a lot of players, yada, yada. Okay. Value is only determined after we've seen them play. You could try to determine value based on what your pre-draft grades were. For example, Kuiper in his write-up said Ian Book was a 7th-round pick. The Saints should have taken Jamie Newman. Fine. Well, when you listen to Mike Detillier, who, by the way, called his shot with Ian Book weeks ago. I went back and looked it up. It was the 8th. It was April 8th. He came on AFR and called the Saints picking Ian Book. And his whole explanation was, he's Taysom Hill. He's a super athletic guy. Hill's probably not going to be on your team next year. So here's a very inexpensive way to have a guy in that role. Same thing they did last year with Tommy Stevens. Nobody is looking at Ian Book as a possible starter in New Orleans ever. He's just the athletic guy that could fill that role that Taysom Hill does. Okay, if he does that, great. Peyton Turner, as we learned, can play both inside and out. So he could, someone made this comparison on Twitter, and I can't remember who it was, but someone made the comparison to Anthony Hargrove. And if you remember, Anthony Hargrove was a very integral part of the Saints defensive line in 2009 when they won the Super Bowl. He could play inside and out. And I don't think Peyton Turner's going to be a starter. He's not going to start over Cam Jordan or, obviously, or I think Marcus Davenport. And remember, you got Carl Granderson too. But that's a guy who's good against the run and can play inside and out. He's going to contribute for you immediately. Pete Werner, I think, is going to be a starter. Getting Pete Werner with the 60th pick, I think, is a steal. It's funny that a lot of LSU fans were ticked that they didn't pick Jabril Cox. Cox lasted until the 4th round. I mean, what does that tell you? And he wasn't very good last year. Pete Werner can be a day one starter for New Orleans. He could be the starter next to DeMario Davis week 1. Paulson Adebo is a left cornerback, 6'1", 200 pounds, long kid. I don't know that he's going to be your starter. I think you go sign a corner and veteran free agent. Maybe it's Richard Sherman. You bring Adebo along, and maybe he can be that starter. We talked about Ian Book. Landon Young, y'all probably don't know the name. That's okay. But one of the benefits of me doing around the SEC every day is it forces me habitually to keep up with every team in the conference. Y'all, Landon Young is a stud. Landon Young is one of the best offensive linemen they've had at Kentucky. Now, they've literally had guys from Kentucky go in the Hall of Fame. Who was a center that played for Pittsburgh for all those years who was from Kentucky? I'm blanking. Anyway, but Landon Young played left tackle. He could play inside at guard. He's athletic. They could play either tackle spot. He's a mauler on the inside. Like, I'm pumped about that. I am pumped about the Landon Young pick. I can't believe that's one of those ones I'm like, that dude was sitting there around 6. Like, the Saints moved up to get him. Loved it. And then I'd be lying if I told you I knew anything about Kawaan Baker, receiver out of South Alabama, supposedly a fast kid, but see what he's got. So I think they did really well. I think they got a ton of defense. Hey, okay.
Where's Hershey?
Right here.
Joey, she's right here.
You gonna go lay back down?
He didn't say that for
Okay.
some time. Like, come
Oh. You can go lay back down.
Like, how long are you gonna be doing this?
I just started. Babe, just go lay back down. I'll watch it. Get. Hang on one second.
You see her, she? Whoop. You see her, she? You see her, she?
Okay. Needless to say, if you were here yesterday, we should have a better morning today because Hershey's here, and Drew loves Hershey, and you will probably just hear him cackle for as long as we do this. By the way, only 10 likes, 21 people watching, only 10 likes on YouTube. We got to fix that. Please hit that like button. Very, very important. If you haven't done so yet, also please subscribe to the post. So, I really liked the Saints draft. Let's see. Bubba Tatum. I'd rather 2 years with a subpar Jameis than have to rely on Ian Book to fill the AN role. The AN role. Well, look, I don't know what you mean by AN role, Bubba, but anyway, Book's never going to be a starter. Like, he's never going to be a starter. He's just there to potentially be the Taysom Hill role. I mean, Mike D'Attilio explained that a month ago. I posted the comment. I posted his full take on it. Go see it if you want to. I think it's smart. Spurge, what's up? Oh, so Hershey, for those that don't know, the dog, that is my sister-in-law's family. So Erica's sister, Lauren, y'all have met, I don't think y'all may not have met Reese, but Reese and Eli on vacation, that's their dog. So Lauren and James have Reese and Eli and Hershey. Well, Eli is playing in a 10-year-old baseball tournament. I think maybe in Homer or something like that. So they spent the night down there last night, and so we watched Hershey. So, and I'm very excited about that because Drew loves Hershey. Hey, bud, you want to come see Daddy? Where's Hershey? Go find Hershey. Say, get Hershey. Merrick Mathern, Preston Landry, Tad Page. Baseball fought back and got one. Massive. It's massive that LSU baseball fought back and got that one game. I was so full disclosure, I did not get to watch Game 3. Last night, Alan Risher turned 60, and so we had his 60th birthday party, and he asked me and Hannah Griff and Tommy Chrysan to roast him. So we were part of the show for Alan's 60th. So I had that last night. The party started at 6:30, so I missed the game last night. But I was following along on my phone. I saw they had the early lead. I was like, holy crap, they're winning. And then kind of followed and saw the ninth inning didn't go so hot, but that they managed to win it. But massive that they found a way to win that game. I know there's a lot of people who are going to say, well, McHale should be the third. Do you realize 2 weeks ago we were saying Blake Money should be the third starter? And then last week we're saying Will Helmer should be the third starter. And now it's Will McHale should be the third starter. The problem is there's a reason none of them have established that role. There's a reason McHale hasn't started since 2018 in the SEC. I'm fired up for him. He's a senior who stuck it out, who waited it, who's been patient, accepted his role. And that's awesome that he had that day yesterday. But it doesn't change the fact that through 4 years, you know what he is. He's a one-pitch guy, and when he commands that pitch, he can get guys out. And he filled up the strike zone yesterday. I looked at his pitch count and his strikes. He threw something like 51. Hang on. Let's see. McHale threw 79 pitches, 51 for strikes. Like, that's the key for McHale Hilliard. Like, if he's throwing his breaking pitch for strikes, and especially if he's getting swings and misses, then he's really effective. The problem is, if he's not, he's in trouble. So anyway, I know people are going to say McHale number 3 starter. It's very likely that he could be that next week. Maybe they give him that chance to be the Sunday guy again next week, just like they did with Blake Money and like they did with Helmers. And it's just as likely that he gets smashed next week. But it's not to knock the kid. I'm very excited for him to have the day he did yesterday. But if you're relying on that, that's a problem. Let's see. Patrick Hason, good morning. Samuel Merrifield, Deb James, Craig Sweeney. We played Arkansas in the spring game yesterday. No, in baseball. Damon Hinderberger, good morning, Matt and Hershey. Rode Yule, salvaged game. All is not lost just yet. need to go sweep Auburn now. You know, Rhoda, I'll say this, man. I don't think you need to sweep. So hear me out, okay? It would be great if you did. I think expecting a sweep on the road is ambitious, but you do need to win each of your remaining 3 series. So remember, like if you've followed, we've been doing the math. If you followed along, we said when they were at 4 wins that they needed to take 1 each from from Ole Miss and Arkansas. That would put them at 6, and then they needed to win each of their final 3 series, which would put them at 12. That wasn't going to get them in. They were going to need to make a run in Hoover. But if they could sweep one of those series, that would get them at 13. That and a win in Hoover and an RPI around 20 should get them in. Taking 2 from Ole Miss was massive because now 2 from Ole Miss, getting 1 from Arkansas, you're at 7. You take 2 from Auburn, 2 from Bama, 2 from A&M. Now you're at 13. I mean, you're there. And I think that with an RPI around 20, a win in Hoover, that gets you in. So, Drew, come see. So I don't think you need to sweep. Be great if you did, but I don't think you need it, if that makes sense. LSU stole 1 in the middle of the ugliness. Yes. George Reitmeyer, good morning. Really like the Saints wide receiver and cornerback pick. I don't know. Drew's looking wet, and I don't know why. Oh well. No. That's weird. You saying no to Hershey? No. No Hershey. Say no, Hershey. No, Hershey. You say no, Hershey. You say hi to Dad Show? Say hi, Dad Show. Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad Show. Hi, Drew. Okay. We ready? Gotcha. Oh, who's here? Oh, it's Hershey. It's Hershey. Oh, is Hershey licking my hand? Huh? Do you love Hershey? Say no, Hershey. Let's see. Kevin Fontenette, enough about baseball. It's about the American gangster. Trey Mitchell, you're next. Okay. Ryan Dixon did not like Hilliard's start decision, but made sense and was smart with Arkansas hunting fastballs and walks, which made the DF decision Fontenot perplexing. Give AD and Palmieri credit for smart move with Hilliard. Et tu, Joel? Been a minute, Joel. Glad to see you here. Lily's watching. Can you say hi, Lily? Say hi, Lily. Low Lily kiss. Oh, and Aiden and Laurel are watching too. Good morning, y'all. That's my sister and my godchild, my niece, watching in Kansas. Good morning, y'all. Let's see. Dale Broussard, Sunday Scone in the house. Glenn Laurie, good morning. Ronald Mancuso, Jane Lynn, Hayden Domang. Matt, hope you, who do you see? Hershey? You see Hershey? Why is your butt wet? Who did you sit in? Is that pee or is that milk? Yeah. Hershey destroyed a ball.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, is right. Yeah, there she goes. He's after her. I wonder if Hershey peed and Drew sat in it. Oh, God. I'll figure it out later. Whatever. That's what this morning in the Scone house is like. I think Hershey peed and Drew sat in it. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever. Do you ever get that feeling where, like, I'm looking at my kid with a wet butt? Either his extension leaked milk or something like that, or he's sitting in the dog's pee. So that means there's a pee puddle somewhere in this house from the dog, and my kid probably sat in it, and I just don't care. Is that negligent on my behalf? Hi, Hirsch. Come here. Come here. Come up. Let's see. Let's see, Matt. Hope you and all of your babies are doing. Love the baby. What's the baby's name? I'm guessing you're talking about the dog. The dog's name is Hershey. Hi. And we're just dog sitting. Ryan Dixon, heard rumors Mickey Loomis is looking at bringing in Terrio as a talent evaluator. Heard he's impressed by his name recognition capability. Terrio's trolling everybody on Twitter last night saying, I looked at the Saints draft, didn't recognize any of their names, and what do we do? And debate. And I was like, I'm just impressed that you actually did some amount of research, which you never ever do. George Reitmeyer, Turner reminds me of Wayne Martin. It's an interesting comp. It's a throwback. Jerry DeLucky, taking at least 1 of 3 was huge. Yes, it was. Let's see if the RPI is out. Let's see if college baseball. Let's see if the updated RPI is out there. We are looking at, let's see. This should be updated. LSU. Is that, yep, it is updated. Tigers at 7-14 in the league, RPI of 24. So, did not change. So, despite losing the series, you did not move in the RPI. So, 24th. Let's see. Mike D was spot on again. That's why he's the best. He is. For show. Blaine Smith, LSU played really well last night. Some outstanding defense. Jordan Thompson continues to be awesome for sure. I didn't hear Maneri after the game. So I don't know if he ever gave an explanation why DiGiacomo didn't play in the third game of the series, in the second game of the doubleheader. He went 4 for 5 in the first game of the doubleheader, and then didn't. I tweeted like, did he get lost on the way from the clubhouse to the field? It was crazy that he didn't play. And they started Bianco in center. Shelby, yesterday was a long day. 3 different kids' parties, followed by a long night of 4 roses small patch. Waiting in the donut line now. I need to straighten out my diet. Yeah, you do, bro. Hey, you know what? Do it during the week and indulge a bit on the weekend. Craig Duga. I'm convinced Kim Mulkey coached Game 3. I'm also convinced LSU is a basketball school now. She did pretty well throwing out the first pitch. Good arm action. Good arm angle. Brian and Andy Penn, good morning from the Panhandle in Texas. Hilliard pitched. Thank God we got one game. What do you think about the draft? Talked a little bit about the draft already. I think the Saints did really well. I think they addressed needs. They got a defensive lineman, a linebacker, a corner. They got, I thought, great value with Landon Turner in round 6. The quarterback, the whole idea of Ian Book, Mike Detilliers explained. It's the possibility of having an athletic guy kind of fill the Taysom role. And the wide receiver out of South Alabama. I don't know anything about him, but really fast guy. Let's see what he can do. As for LSU, very surprised. Very surprised to see. Well, anyway, I was surprised to see Jacoby Stevens had to wait till round 6. I did predict, however, that Racey McMath would get drafted, and he did. I figured someone would see the speed and ability to play special teams and wouldn't risk it with him falling undrafted free agency. So was happy for him. Kerry Vincent had a long wait as well. But and then Jabril Cox finally went off the board in round 4 to Dallas. I thought Dallas cleaned up defensively, man. Micah Parsons, they got Jabril Cox, another really good defensive player. Who am I missing that Dallas took? Jerry got him some value, and no doubt Jerry got some value defensively. Where is he? I thought I had it. There it is. Let's see. They went Kelvin Joseph. When Micah Parsons, Kelvin Joseph, they got the defensive lineman out of UCLA. Then they took Chauncey Golston out of Iowa, Deshaun Ryder, Oregon State. Their first 6 picks were all defensive players, and they got Jabril Cox in round 4. I mean, and they got Mukuamu, the cornerback from South Carolina, who was a stud, who got hurt and opted out. Let's see. Blaine Smith got a transfer. Oh, yeah. LSU basketball got a transfer yesterday from Illinois. Will Wade has quite successfully made over his roster through the transfer portal. And I don't think he's done yet either. Now, can he make them all gel and come together in short order? We'll see. But, hey, Hirsch. Got Hirsch. Yeah, I got Hirsch. Little Hershey. This is. Hey, Drew. Who is it? Is. H is for Hershey. Herschelton. Oh, it's such a sweet dog. Blaine Smith. Jeff McKiffin, good morning. Any truth to the rumors that Maneri's retiring after the season? I mean, Blaine, you're here almost every day. I guess not everybody hears everything I say all the time. I got to be cognizant of that. I do think, yes, that this will be Paul Maneri's last season. I want to be very clear that that's my opinion. I think with a combination of a lot of things. I think what I've said is he has always wanted to coach through through this contract, which is through 2024. I think the combination of this team not being very good, an athletic director that didn't hire him, and a lot of personal events in his life, like that have taken their toll, like 2 neck surgeries and losing his father and Tommy Lasorda passing this year, who's very close with. I think all of that has compounded. I do think, yes, I've said this for weeks now, that I do think that this, again, I want to be very clear. I'm not breaking news. I'm not telling you something that I know. Because I got a call yesterday from someone saying, "Hey man, did you say Maneri's retired?" No, I'm not breaking that news. But if I had to guess, I would think that this would be it for Maneri this year. Yes. One reason or another. Let's see. Dylan Moses goes undrafted. Ouch. Hey, man, I'd say this all the time, bro. All the time. The medical evaluation is the most important part of the combine. People focus on the 40 and the vertical. Look at what happened with Terrace Marshall, bro. Terrace Marshall should have been a first round pick, but word started leaking out that he had some questions pop up on his medical, so he drops in a round 2. And I'm telling y'all what, Carolina got an absolute steal, highway robbery, getting Terrace Marshall in round 2. Highway robbery. Joe Brady ain't dumb. Joe Brady know what he got. Crazy. But the medical, man, that's it with Dylan Moses. He tore his ACL. He had 2 knee injuries. Man, you go to the combine to check you out. The doctors say, man, I don't know that I can clear this guy and tell you that he's going to be able to play for 10 years. You take him off your draft board. Happens every year. Arthur Coco, do you believe some of the LSU kids should not have opted out? Arthur, everybody's own decision, man. I mean, everybody can make their own call. You want to say specifically about playing, like Tyler Shelvin, I think had he played this year, put another good year of film, do I think he would have been drafted higher? Yes. Flip side of it is, look at Jabril Cox. He played, didn't play well. He goes in round 4. Hey, Becky Morales, good morning. Hope y'all are doing awesome. Thinking about y'all every day and praying for y'all every day. Let's see. Blaine Smith, Vincent, and Shelvin. Another good reason Shelvin is the second round. Another good season Shelvin is the second round. I agree. Kevin Banta. Good morning, Matt. Hope all is well. Thank you, Kevin. Connor O'Neill. Matt, you're out. Drew and Hershey stealing the show. I'm good with that, Bruno. I know, dummy. Why do you think I bring Drew on here all the time? Let's see. Murder Giraffe. What's up? Tad Page, Pro Football Hall of Fame. Dermontti Dawson, thank you. That's what I was thinking of, the Kentucky center. Thank you. I knew I was thinking about the guy who played for the Steelers. Went to Kentucky. Tim Gotro, good morning. Terrell Davis, top of the morning, good people. Eric Wilderrotter, day 1-2 linebacker taken in the Loomis era. Vaughn, Anzalone, Anthony Kikaha, Kyrie Ford, to name a few. In short, we've yet to re-sign one of their off their rookie deal. Werner up against it. That's a fair point, man. Now, Vaughn, in fairness, jury is still very much out, right? Anzalone, injury issues, but we knew that when they took him in the 3rd round. Stephon Anthony was the big bust. There's no question. They loved him coming out of Clemson, and it didn't work. And Kikaha was another one that they took in round 2 that they were betting on the upside. That's another guy who had knee injuries, if you remember. And the thing about Kikaha was he was more of an edge rusher than an inside backer. And Kyrie Ford, if I remember, was a 4th round pick. So, yeah, I don't know that you're expecting to get a starter in round 4 anyway. So I'm with you on all that. But this is also, outside of Stephon Anthony, the highest that they've taken a linebacker in round 2. And he actually fits what they're trying to do defensively. So Pete Werner, I mean, dude was a 3-year starter at Ohio State. Was all Big Ten this last year. Pat Freiermuth, the big tight end from Penn State, Werner locked him down. Go watch some of that film from that Ohio State-Penn State game. Pete Werner, that's one of those ones where you snag a guy at the end of round 2 and you go, oh God, you got him at the end of round 2? All right. I mean, think of some of the starters that the Saints have drafted in round 2. Michael Thomas, Marcus Williams. I mean, now, they also drafted Stanley Jean-Baptiste in round 2. So, they're not batting 1,000, but I'll take it, man. I really like that Pete Werner pick. And the flip side of it, too, who is that? Eric. I know y'all don't like to hear this, but they've had a lot of success drafting Ohio State guys. They have. Michael Thomas, Von Bell, Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, y'all know the drill. They've had success drafting Ohio State guys. For whatever reason, those guys coming out of that system, producing their players, they fit what the Saints do. They fit in well. I don't know what it is about the culture, the fit there, but there's a reason they keep drafting Ohio State players. Let's see. Geo cramped up right for the. Okay, good to know, Tim. I was about to say, look again. I didn't have the story, and I was like, that's why. I put on Twitter. I'm like, I need an explanation, because you don't just bench your starting center fielder who went 4 for 5 just because. Like that just does. It was illogical. Okay. Ryan Dixon, any truth to Dan McDonald rumors to LSU from Louisville? Ryan, I'll say this, man. If Maneri is done after this year, I don't know where you heard McDonald. I would be very surprised if McDonald left Louisville. Conversations I've had with people in and around college baseball, I don't think he's leaving Louisville. So no, like if you're LSU and you're looking for a coach, would you make that call? Sure, you make that call. I mean, you call a lot of people to gauge interest, but given the conversations I've had about Dan McDonald with people all around college baseball, I would be very surprised if he left Louisville. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Talking about my Cowboys. Hey, man, it was indirect because they drafted Jabril Cox, but I do like what they did at the top of the draft, Cliff. They got, dude, Kelvin Joseph, and I'm telling you what, Kelvin Joseph is one of those guys. If y'all don't know the backstory with Kelvin, he was a 5-star, went to Scotlandville, signed with LSU, played as a freshman. He was suspended for the bowl game, the Fiesta Bowl that year, because of failed drug tests. And he was going to have to serve a half-season suspension, which is why he left. And he transferred to Kentucky. In a different era with, weed testing in the NFL, Kelvin Joseph probably plummets in the draft. That in and of itself probably caused him to drop and obviously opting out near the end of the year. But I think they got great value there. Tim feels like our draft isn't over while waiting for vets like Quan and Richard Sherman to clear medicals. Loomis find the money. Loomis always finds the money. Tim, it's not Loomis that finds the money. Remember, it's Kai Harley. That's the guy. Kai is the capologist. He's the guy that makes all the money work. It's Loomis always gets credit for that. It ain't Loomis. It's Kai. He's the guy who knows the salary cap inside out, backwards, forward, upside down. He's the guy. Ryan Dixon, don't underestimate Woody, Matt. Ryan, you talking to me about that? But I'm telling you, like, it's not Dan McDonald, okay? You listening to bloggers again? Is that what you're doing? Are you listening to the anonymous podcast guys? Is that what you're doing again? Are we gonna have to have this whole round and round thing again? Consider the source wherever you're hearing things. Don't need to have the same conversation I had whenever we had podcast guys breaking news that Marcus Freeman LSU was a done deal, or podcast guys breaking news that Kim Mulkey was going to be introduced on a Friday, or podcast guys telling you Elias Ricks is transferring to Ohio State. I mean, is that what we have to do again? Do I have to do this whole thing again where I tell you consider the source? I figured that some of you would have watched and listened long enough. Those of you who watched and listened long enough would know by now where to go to for news. Y'all keep doing it over and over again. Say, bro, I heard Jesus was coming to coach LSU baseball, man. Any truth to that? Cannot confirm or deny. Hey, Dawn, good morning. Dylan Landry, Jimmy Russell. Guys on radio said Gio had leg cramps. Good. That's good to know. Boy, if they just benched him, I'd have been like, whoa. Let's see. Alan Dominguez, good morning. Brian Madere, morning, Matt. Any coincidence that Yahoo is now on Mulkey's case? Especially after the LSU hire, what's your take? Yahoo on Mulkey's case. I haven't seen what Yahoo, let me see, Yahoo Kim Mulkey, let me see. Yahoo Kim Mulkey. Former ESPN reporter says Kim Mulkey tried to get her fired after a story accused a new LSU coach of telling star player to hide her sexuality. Yeah, I'm just not interested in that. Let's see. Dawn, will LSU finish? That's sour grapes. That's leaking a story because you're bitter somebody left and whatever. Just ignore idiots. Pat Houston, Lawrence Burley, Lee McCaffrey. Good morning, Matt and Poster Drew, Fathead Drew, and Hershey. What do you think, Hirsch? Yeah. Okay, Hirsch. You can lay back down. Sorry. You can lay back down, Hirsch. Sorry. She's got her head on the. Oh, y'all can see this. She's got her head like she's sitting on my lap and her head is on the desk. Oh. What do you see, Hirsch? She's sitting like a human right now. Like her legs are out and her paws are up on the desk. That's funny. Love you, Hirsch. George Reitmeyer, Sean Payton needs his Ohio State fix. They keep producing. I'm good with it. Brandon Atchison, I don't know, Scone. It blows my mind the Saints just don't draft LSU guys. Brandon, as tired as you are of LSU, of Saints not drafting LSU guys, I am tired of hearing fans talk about the Saints not drafting LSU guys. I'm so sick of hearing it. Like, the number of people who melted when the Saints took Pete Werner and not Jabril Cox. Like, nobody took Jabril Cox for 4 rounds. I mean, he would have been a reach. He lasted until the 4th round. You could have had him twice more. Yeah. Whatever. Who cares? Like, I've done this so many times. Every year in the draft, I do this. Every year. The Falcons don't show a propensity to draft guys from the University of Georgia. The Dolphins don't show a propensity to drafting guys from the University of Miami. The Rams and the Chargers aren't drafting USC guys. Like, the Packers aren't drafting Wisconsin Badgers. Like, stop. Stop. Stop with the stupid LSU Saints. They won't draft. Stop it. It's stupid. It's stupid. Like, you're concerned with it. They're not. They're looking at their draft board. Who do we have rated where? What position do we need? Boom. Like, that's how they're picking. It's not screw LSU. Like, that's not the objective. Hey, man, why didn't they draft Jarvis Landry? Because they took Brandon Cooks in the 1st round. They weren't going to go receiver back-to-back picks. Oh, man, they passed on Patrick Queen last year. Yeah, they passed on Patrick Queen. They also had 2 linebackers, and they needed an offensive lineman because they were cutting Larry Warford to save $15 million against cap. George Reitmeyer, who thought Mulkey would leave Baylor? Me. Ooh. Come on, George. You've been hanging around long enough to know. Podcast guy said Gio's injury was pretty serious. Mark Hammond, what's up? Jerry DeLucky. Lee McCaffrey. Where are we? Are the Saints winning? Who cares who they draft? Bingo. Where are we? Cliff Nelson, Marshall will excel under Brady. I know. I hate that he's going to Carolina. Joe Brady knew what he was doing. And they got Sam Darnold a weapon, which he never had ever in New York with the Jets. I'm so perplexed too that Terrace Marshall fell with the whole medical thing, right? I mean, when he was in high school, he had an ankle injury his senior year. And then in 2019, he missed 3 weeks because he had a slight fracture in his foot. But Terrace Marshall was never injury prone. Like, he wasn't he didn't have the reputation of being injury prone. He suffered a freak foot injury against Vanderbilt in 2019. Came back and still had 13 touchdowns. Anyway. All you have to do is listen to Mike D or the Otter. They know the future. Otter nailed his draft prop bets. I think he was 8-1 in his draft prop bets. I mean, he cleaned up. And every year, y'all, every year, I'm telling you, every single year, there's at least one pick where Mike D just knows. He just knows the Saints are interested in that player, and that they're going to find a way to pull the trigger. Like, he gave you Brandon Cooks back in 2014. He was all over that one. Stephon Anthony, as much as it didn't pan out, he knew they loved him and knew they were going to take him. Gave you Ian Book, as I mentioned. He knows, man. He is very, very much in the know. Jimbo Houdat. Good morning, Scone. One more pick. Saints could have had Marshall Jr., and I think they would have taken him. I do. I think the Saints would have taken Terrace Marshall in round 2 if he were there. But Carolina wasn't stupid, and Joe Brady knew. And Joe Brady hopped one pick. Carolina went one pick ahead of New Orleans and snapped up Terrace Marshall. Smart. Podcast guys have landlines. Hey, man, watch yourself, Cliff. Let's see. Dale, you prefer Facebook or YouTube? I'm just kind of back and forth, Dale. Dale, I don't care, man. I'm more like, I just want to be on whatever platform that you all prefer. So, like, if I want to have that option there for you for whatever you want. If you want YouTube, cool. If you want Facebook, cool. I mean, some of you prefer one or the other, so I'm happy to be on both. YouTube is a better video platform for sure. I mean, YouTube, think about it. I mean, YouTube was built as a video streaming platform. I mean, that's what it is. It's a video platform. Facebook is not. Facebook is a social media app that has video integration. So the whole thing about Facebook, like we've talked about forever, is just whenever we started doing Morning Scone, I already had like Facebook followers on my page. So it was just easier to you want to get down? Okay. It was just easier to do. Oh, it's storming this morning, y'all. Wow. It was just easier to do the show there because I already had an audience there. So, let's see. Anything else? What y'all got, man? Normally we get Ask You Right. I don't even see trivia here this morning. Where's trivia? Whew. No trivia on a Sunday. Wow. That is a little bit of an upset, isn't it? Might be done, y'all. E-Rock sleeping. Hershey's here. It's raining outside. Drew's walking around with probably pee all over his jammies. I got some messes I got to clean up. I do indeed. All right. If you're over here on YouTube and you haven't done so yet, please hit the like. Please hit the thumbs up. And if you're on Facebook, sharing is caring. So I would say, hit that share, like and share, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. Well, it's bad weather. Hope your roof's in good shape. If not, you know what to do. Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. All over Louisiana, by the way. If you're Alexandria or north, call our Shreveport office, the Shreveport Bossier office. If you're south of Alec, call us. We'll go all over the I-10 corridor. We've done Lake Charles and Lafayette, Rayne, Baton Rouge, of course, New Orleans, the Bayou, been all over. Holler at Hudco. Okay. Might be done. Well, here comes P Jammies. Hey, P Jammies. You okay? Hey, Drew, who do I have? Hershey. All right, y'all. I guess we're done. Y'all are done. We're done. Dale, where's he actually? So apparently, so Hershey spent the night. So I slept in the guest room with Hershey. Erica had Drew in our room, and apparently Drew did not sleep well again last night and was up like all night long. So anyway, So Erica's sleeping. Iraka's sleeping. Dale still thin softball coach. Think softball coach will be the next to win a championship. Well, Dale had said that, and then football won one. So, but yeah, I think Beth breaks through eventually. She just last year might have been a squad too that could have done it, but I do. I think Beth breaks through. I think she will win one. Real excited about Mulkey. She got a transfer. One of her kids from Baylor transferred yesterday. I expect more of that. But ask Hershey, will you bark if Lenny blows his horn? Actually, Cliff, she will. Like, she'll do that. Younging Ty. Look, I get teams don't need linebacker this year, but Parsons and Bolton were the best two pure linebackers in the draft, in my opinion. I agree with you. You weren't getting Parsons that high, and Bolton. Where did Bolton go ultimately? Yeah, the thing about Bolton is. Let's see where he went. He was taken. So he was taken 58th. So he went 2 picks before the Saints took Warner. So if Bolton were on the board at 60, maybe they take him, and I would have been totally cool with that. But he was off the board, so they stand pat, they stayed pat, stood pat, and got Pete Warner, who I do think fits exactly what they want to do, and I think he will be I think Pete Warner will be a day one starter at inside backer right next to Demario Davis. All right, y'all. I think we're about done here. All right. I guess we're done, y'all. If you're on Facebook, please like the Hudco and Brock pages. We appreciate y'all as always. Have an awesome Sunday. Stay dry. See y'all.